warm welcome. This is Nationwide on NTA. My name is Sogoch Kuka Ona. The Senate will on Tuesday next week interact extensively with service chiefs on the state of security in the country. The meeting initially slated for this Wednesday was postponed after the arrival of the Army, Naval and Air Chiefs, the Inspector General of Police and the Director General of the State Security Service. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, explains that the shift is to extend invitation to include Ministers of Defense, Police Affairs, Interior and Finance, as well as the National Security Advisor and the head of the National Intelligence Agency.
We represent the Nigerian people, and we can only do the will of the Nigerian people. And our job is to complement the efforts of the executive and then also to assist the executive to succeed. Because if the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not succeed, it means that we have all failed. It means that Nigeria has failed. So what we are doing is definitely in the interest of the people. The issues identified, principally security, is the most important issue that have been identified. And the Senate is also of the view that the FCT is under threat, and in addition to other parts of the country.
Preparations for a standardized population census on course as 17 nominees scaled through screening as commissioners of the National Population Commission before the Senate committee. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide reports.
It's almost 17 years since Nigerians experienced the census exercise, which many believe is not the best for a developing economy and as well not in line with the guiding principles of the United Nations.
Distinguished senators,
in changing this narrative, a total of 17, including 3 women out of 19 commissioner nominees of the NPC, presented themselves for screening before the Senate committee.
So how do we get Nigeria to get a demographic data that will help planning and make planning easy? That is the objective I believe we will be tackling to achieve.
He said even the chairman of the commission cannot influence the outcome of his own state. So it's a way of assuring Nigerians that this census can stand the test of time. We have attended trainings locally and internationally.
This census, I believe, for the past, 17 years, this is the first time maybe we are going to do the real census. The real one means the machineries that we are going to use is going to bring the best result, inshallah, and we are not going to fail.
we are almost 11 years without taking the United Nations resolution on population, which comes almost every 7 years. So I'm sure with the political will, this is possible, it's doable, the commission is ready, the personnel are ready. All that we need to do is the announcement by the president that this population census is coming on a date. And once he said it, the international organization will now come in with their support.
Nominee from Ondo State was not in attendance as he was recently appointed as secretary to the Ondo State government, while his counterpart from Ogun State also won a rerun poll into the State Assembly. From the National Assembly, Joshua Okochdi, NT News.
And still on the legislature, a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to enable election into the office of the President, National Assembly, state governors, and state houses of assembly to be conducted on the same day has scaled second reading at the House of Representatives. The bill proposes 5 amendments of the Principal Act, including amendment of Section 10, subsection 3 of the Act, to mandate the Independent National Electoral Commission to carry out a re-registration exercise of all eligible voters every 10 years in the preparation for the next general elections. National Assembly correspondent Mitare Ikben reports that the second reading of the bill was preceded by some debates.
All the elections be held on one single day, except, of course, off-cycle elections. But the general elections be held on one single day. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this will save this country hundreds of millions of naira and will also save time.
I want you to support this proposal because if you can vote for 3 electoral positions, what's the point from voting the 5 at the same day?
If I'm 18, so what you're telling me now that for the next 10 years, I'm not going to participate in an election.
All the other items on this paper, I'm in full support. But I feel this one, we should find a way of not punishing the voter for the fault of INEC.
Elections as a critical democratic ritual, right, should be taken very seriously, and the gaps that have been identified should be remedied.
Each time we have an election, look at the percentage of those who are voting. It says a lot. It says that there is something fundamentally wrong. It's not that Nigerians are not going to vote. Those who are in support of this bill to be read for the second time should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
The Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2023 also proposes modification of Section 60, subsection 5 of the Principal Act to make electronic transmission of results of the ballots mandatory. Now, to strengthen collaboration between Nigeria and the United States on mining development, both countries have formed a working group to work out modalities of partnership as a follow-up to a previous meeting in Abuja with the United States Deputy Chief of Mission, David Green. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, led a Nigerian government delegation that met a delegation of the U.S. government on the sidelines of the ongoing Investing in Africa Indaba Cape Town, South Africa conference. Dele Alake lauded U.S. interest in the mining sector, emphasizing that as Nigeria's long-standing ally, a new vista of collaboration for mining development will strengthen bilateral relations and translate to mutual benefits for both countries. Nigeria's upstream gas production, experts believe, is a changing landscape for sustainable economic development if properly harnessed. Leader Samson reports that navigating challenges towards a clearly defined energy landscape for greater profitability is the focus of a stakeholders consultative meeting convened by the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Gas in Abuja.
Despite Nigeria's significant role in the global energy dynamics, the country has been experiencing a decline in foreign direct investment in its oil and gas sector, partly due to growing global concerns about climate change. These key players say underscores the importance of gas as a viable alternative to fossil fuels. This meeting, at the instance of the Minister of State Petroleum Resources Gas, is for the public and private sector to jointly come up with a clearly defined approach.
The energy landscape is evolving rapidly, and the decision we make today will profoundly impact generations to come. We must be strategic, innovative, and adaptable.
For key industry players, the consultative meeting is apt as it is providing the needful platform to find lasting solutions to grey areas, mitigating sustaining investment in the sector.
I think the era is coming to an end where we just produce oil and gas purely for export. Now we need to use gas to energize our economy and industrialize our economy.
What we are looking forward to in a session like this is how we translate the body of knowledge, the body of frameworks, plans that we have into reality.
We are all here to inform the Minister Gas that we have another way that we can be able to get the source of this gas available to the Nigerians.
They are optimistic that at the end of what they called a meaningful dialogue, open and transparent discussions that will propel the sector to greater profitability and strategic partnership will be achieved. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
17-year-old abandoned Enugu International Conference Center is undergoing renovation. It is in line with the vision of the present administration to make the state a preferred destination for investments and tourism. The 3,000 capacity auditorium, when completed, will not only give the city a facelift, but create job opportunities for health-teeming youths.
Execution of projects that have existed through the regimes controlled by both political parties remained a major challenge of governance in Nigeria. In Enugu State, however, quite a number of capital projects started by successive governments were abandoned. Residents are worried why such capital projects with public funds are lying waste, depriving the people of its benefit. Governor Bah, who saw its untapped economic potential, vowed to complete and put it to use. He says, tourism sector holds significant economic importance apart from oil and pivotal to the growth of the economy. Therefore, the move to reconstruct and complete the project is one wing in quest for double digital growth and economic diversification to further strengthen and develop the tourism sector to better the lives of the people. When completed, the ICC will be a meeting point for all, among other economic values in Enugu. Comfort Ayim, NTA News.
All right, that report didn't do justice to what we are expecting. That's why we are linking up with Comfort Live for more on the renovation work. Now, Comfort, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ogochukwu, and welcome to the 17-year-old abandoned Enugu International Conference Center, ICC, situated at the heart of the city, in the midst of the Three Arms Zone. This way is the State Assembly, and the judiciary is not too far from here. The other side is the Government House, and before me is the Michael Okpara Square. Now, in time past, Enugu State had established and earned a reputation as one of the most sought-after locations for production of movies in Nigeria. However, in recent times, other states are increasingly taking over the role from Enugu State, and Governor Bah has vowed to restore the lost glory of Enugu State, to make it the preferred destination for investment, business, tourism, and living in Nigeria, and also to make it a top 3 revenue-generating state. Now, this ICC, you can see, is a monumental edifice that was initiated by the former governor, Chimaroke Nnamani, which would have been one of the legacy projects of that administration before leaving office in 2007. But over the years, 2 regimes have passed. The edifice remained untouched, and Governor Bah-led administration is the third to inherit the abandoned capital project. And he says government is a continuum. It is an unending relay race. So it is normal and desirable for one regime to start a project while another succeeding government completes them. Hence, the approval for completion to unlock its hidden economic potentials. A statement translated into action. As you can see, work is in progress. Already, the government has vowed to pressure by demolishing the illegal structures in the premises following public outcry on activities of land grabbers who illegally built residential houses in the premises. And this edifice, it has a 3,000 capacity auditorium, a 1,500-seater secondary infrastructure, and it also has a security infrastructure as well as shopping facilities, recreation areas, amusement park, among other enticing facilities. And I tell you, when completed, Enugu is gonna make Enugu an international city. Yes, and it's also going to be a melting spot for Easterners and across the board. And from what we gather, the project is going to be completed in the first quarter of the year.
Thank you very much, Comfort, for that wonderful update. And it's a very heartwarming news, especially when we have moribund and abandoned projects all over the country. Thank you very much, Comfort.
Thank you.
All right, we'll now be heading to Lagos, where Michael Olaleye is standing by.
Thank you, Ogo. In line with the federal government's new policy towards economic recovery, The Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON, is repositioning for enhanced service delivery. Parts of the agency's new policy include the introduction of a professional indemnity for member sectoral group as part of corporate license requirement set to kick off full implementation 1st April 2024 rather. Director General ACON Olalekan Fadolapo disclosed this at a media interactive forum in Lagos. Dana Jale reports.
While efforts are being channeled towards reforms in all ramifications, the Director General, Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ALCON, said sanitizing the advertising industry in Nigeria to revert the negative trajectory linking the industry is imperative. He said there's an urgent need to replace the current capital structure and working capital requirement of the advertisement agency with the professional indemnity that is renewable annually.
Regulatory guideline will be issued as soon as a position is taken on this. On the implementation of the 45 days credit threshold in the Nigerian advertising industry. Any organization that offer payment threshold outside 45 days credit policy will be tagged as economic saboteur of the Nigerian advertising industry.
ALCOM, a regulatory agency of the federal government, saddled with the responsibility of administration and control of advertisement and marketing organization in Nigeria, is insisting on local production of advertisement as an avenue for more job creation for teeming Nigerian youths and promote economic prosperity.
We will continue to stop the capital flight and the development of other economies by our own organization going out of the country to produce adverts made for the Nigerian market. All commercials to be exported to Nigeria should be produced in Nigeria.
Effects of illegal advertising practitioners, effective collaboration with relevant stakeholders for improved service delivery, professional indemnity insurance, among others, were some of the issues addressed at the media forum. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Since the first set of private universities began operation in Nigeria in 1999, the number of private universities in the country has continued to grow in leap and bound, even outnumbering public tertiary institutions with 147 private universities. Joe Popola reports that while the private universities have undoubtedly reshaped the education landscape in the country, more can still be done to raise the bar in the areas of discipline and quality assurance.
Universities remain the most preferred higher institution of learning for students in Nigeria. Amidst the growing number of those seeking admission to government-owned universities, the federal government licensed private institutions to mop up the overwhelming number of admission seekers by providing viable alternatives. 25 years down the line, Nigeria is now witnessing a preponderance of private universities with 148 and still counting, with many awaiting approval. A major benefit of these institutions, according to experts, is the uninterrupted academic calendar and ratio of lecturers and staff to students.
Private university came in, there was an assurance that students can be guaranteed a stable calendar. In other words, if you are coming for a 4-year course, you finish it in 4 years as long as you work very hard.
While our students are also here, we also try to encourage them to ensure that they are also getting some other certification, so that it is not just the BSc or the BA degree that they get at the end that they are taking away.
Since private university operation is capital intensive, one will expect the best of facilities and assurances of high quality. These academics say there is no cause for alarm.
The same body regulate both. If you are a lecturer in any university, whether private or public, the NUC at the end of the day have your data to see whether it's according to the standard expected.
The staff of the public universities are the ones also servicing the private universities more often than not. So in terms of staffing, you give it to public universities. In terms of facilities, you still give it to private universities.
Stakeholders are unanimous in their decision that quality assurance must not be compromised. In Lagos, Joel Okbola, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. The news will continue with Charles in Makurdi shortly after this break. Please stay.
Glad that you could stay, and a warm welcome to Makurdi. Let's talk infrastructure, where residents of Makurdi, the Benue State capital, have applauded the state government for the ongoing construction of a flyover at the high-level roundabout. They, however, appealed for speedy completion of the project so as to ease the inconveniences being experienced due to diversions. Blessing Omeche Ebute reports.
This used to be the high-level roundabout situated in the center of Makurdi, the state capital. One of the key agendas of the present administration is infrastructural development, and the ongoing construction work is a promise delivered to the Benue people. Upon assumption of office, the present administration has made good on their campaign promises. Barely 1 year into the tenure, there has been a turnaround, particularly in the area of infrastructural development, as evident in the rehabilitation of the State Secretariat, Benue State University Teaching Hospital, and recently the construction of the first ever flyover bridge in Benue.
Barely 8 months, and we are seeing things like this getting down. We hope and we yearn for more.
This kind of development is welcome. Even if we have to fly in the air, let it happen.
The little thing we are praying is that they should not stop doing their work. They should complete it. They should not stop along the road.
Project manager Shabel Amar says the construction has a time frame of 1 year.
There will be huge excavations here. After the excavation, there will be huge concrete work, big structures like the retaining wall, like the raft, the base, the retaining wall, the cross beam, the deck slab. After that, there's the walkway, for sure the side drains, and most importantly, before we do anything, we will allow for proper discharge. And there will be a huge channel that will cart away all the water.
Following this development, the Benue State Ministry of Works, Housing and Urban Development has created diversions as follows. Those coming from Joe Akahan Road are to take Inikpi Street, while those coming from Modern Market Road are to take IBB Square Route. Others coming from Old Otopo Road by St. Teresa's Church are to take Fandekia or Owerri Streets, and those from Ishaya Bakut are to take Constitution Street or the State Secretariat. In Makurdi, Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
Away from infrastructure, let's now talk agriculture. The quest for food sufficiency and affordability for all Nigerians requires strategic partnership by all stakeholders in the agricultural production and value chain. This is the cause being championed by the present administration with the introduction of several initiatives to drive the ending hunger agenda. Elias Itiav has more.
Challenges of climate change, increase in population, conflicts and insecurity, and inappropriate agricultural practices, among others, have continued to hamper food production and sufficiency, which, according to reports, an estimated 17 million Nigerians live in hunger. Equally worrisome are some challenges farmers face in the course of production. These include lack of access to improved seeds and seedlings, use of primitive rather than modern agricultural practices, and lack or untimely access to basic farm inputs like fertilizers and other agrochemicals.
The government should try, in order to help farmers, to at least, should I say it, put subsidy in fertilizers and herbicides.
You visit some of these marketers, they are already making yam chips out of the freshly harvested yams that they ought to have stored and kept for a longer period. Now they are getting rotten so quickly, and it's as a result of perhaps the kind of fertilizers that the people are using.
For some, the strategic intervention programs by the federal government to end food insecurity are commendable.
Like Benue State, we have learned that he has included them in the states selected for mechanized farming and dry season farming. And we need to praise the President Bola Tinubu for this laudable initiative.
As a response to the rising cost of food items, which remains a challenge for many families, the Benue State government has demonstrated its readiness to key into the federal government's dry season farming initiative.
Over 50,000 farmers in Benue State are participating in the dry season farming. We have also identified 34 irrigable sites where water is available, where at different local government areas of the state, where farmers will form clusters and farm.
With a 2024 budgetary allocation of 362.9 billion naira, which is higher than that of 2023 by 134 billion naira, Nigerians have high hopes that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda will impact positively on the agricultural sector and achieve the zero hunger drive. In Makudi, Elias Etiaf, NTA News.
And with that report on food sufficiency, we round off our contribution from Makudi. Ogachukwuka is back to you.
Thank you, Charles. Welcome to Abuja. Vice President Kashim Shettima, at the instance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has left Abuja, Nigeria's capital, for Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, to lend the president's unwavering support to the Super Eagles of Nigeria as they take on South Africa in the semi-final of the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations AFCON. The match will be played at the Stade de la Paix in Bouaké, Cote d'Ivoire, later this evening. The visit will strengthen the deep-rooted connection between football and national identity in Nigeria, as his presence will not only inspire the Super Eagles on the pitch, but also serve as a rallying point for millions of Nigerians cheering from their homes.
The Vice President is leaving at the behest of Mr. President, who has asked him to lead a presidential team. And so given the resilience, given the fighting spirit, given the doggedness, given the wherewithal, and of course the astuteness of this team, we've seen a team that has been so resilient. They've given up almost everything for this tournament. So Mr. President, in his wisdom, has asked the Vice President to proceed on this particular trip so as to go encourage them, give them the message of hope, and to make them know that, look, all Nigerians are behind them. And by the special grace of God, we hope that they turn out with tremendous success, so that at the end of it all, the whole nation will be so proud, and they should know that, yes, that not just Mr. President nor the Vice President, that indeed the whole of Africa is behind them.
This year's AFCON has seen the Super Eagles soar to new heights with a dominant performance in the group stages and a thrilling victory in the quarter-final. They have established themselves as strong contenders for the title. Vice President Shettima's visit to Cote d'Ivoire serves as a powerful call for national unity and support. And as the Super Eagles prepare for their crucial semi-final match, Nigerians across the globe are urged to raise their voices and cheer on their team. Minna, the Niger State capital, is a beehive of activities owing to ongoing rehabilitation of the major roads across the state. Fatima Usman reports on the project and its impact on the residents of the state.
The major feature of Minna, the Niger State capital, in recent times is the unprecedented ongoing infrastructural transformation, not minding the road diversions here and there on major roads in the metropolis. Residents of the state are hopeful that it is for the better.
We hope this thing will continue, and we love that we are seeing it. I just hope the thing will go well, as the governor is doing well, and we pray for him.
This is what we've been seeing in other states of Nigeria, and today we can see the development within the shortest possible time.
It's actually a beautiful one, honestly, because I think in Niger State so far, most of this kind of constructions hasn't really been made. So, but this is really a beautiful one, and really appreciate the governor for that.
The state government, on its part, says the objective is to make the state enviable among its peers after about 50 years of its existence. In Minna, I'm Fatima Usman, NTA News.
And Fatima is live now to elaborate on this and Borrowing a sentence from that report, now making the state an enviable one in terms of infrastructure development. Fatima, is this also going to be replicated in other internal roads? Because this happens in most cases where the streets are left unattended to.
In this case, it is total whole of the state. It is an ongoing project in the other major cities of the state, which consists of Suleja local government. The headquarters is a major town in the state. Bida, headquarters of Bida local government also has a similar project, as well as Kwantagora has a similar project ongoing. It is a 200 billion naira project, and it was flagged off in September 2023. This is also taking 42.2% of 2024 fiscal year, and it is supposed to last through 24 months of completion period. There are now supposed to be 4 flyovers, otherwise known as overpasses, at major places in the state where you have busy traffic, such as Mobile, Paukungu, Boso, and Tunga areas. The forever constructed City Gate has also been brought down. Since the state capital is known, the City Gate has always been there, so it has been there forever, which no longer exists now. Construction of over 40 years ago is almost a thing of the past in the state capital right now.
All right, Fatima, so what are residents saying about this project? You just told us is a 200 billion naira project. Are they excited to see this happen?
Yes, the residents are very excited, to be sincere, because ever since Mina was known, I was also born here. It has been the same routes for the past 40 years. So residents are seeing new developments in spite of the inconveniences, as I've said in my report. There are various diverts of motor vehicles all around the state capital, but they are not minding it. They are saying the end will justify the means, and they cannot wait to get to the end of this project and see a new Niger state as the project is tagged by the state government.
Very well. Thank you very much, Fatima from Mina. Thank you for joining. It's all right. Now, still on roads infrastructure, residents and motorists plying the Aba-Ikotep highway are now heaving a sigh of relief following the construction work by the federal government on the road. Ikechukwu Ndukwe reports that the road is now accessible after decades of abandonment.
21 kilometers of road from Opobo Junction, Aba, to Ikorekpene in Akwa Ibom State has been impassable for more than 20 years, even when there are no alternative means of transportation, either air or water, making the commercial city lose lots of businesses and tourists, as many who prefer to use alternative may have to spend more of their productive hours on the road instead of less than an hour if Aba-Ikorekpene highway were to be in good condition.
I've seen a difference from this present government. They are trying, they are really trying.
I thank the government that's awarded the contracts.
I'm appreciated for the road because how many years now we are suffering for the road.
We are so happy because it has been long now, but we have been suffering because of this bad road.
When completed, Abia and Akwa Ibom states will bounce back to volumes of trading activities, including exchange of agricultural products. Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is to hold an extraordinary session of the Mediation and Security Council at the ministerial level on Thursday, 8 February 2024 at its commission headquarters in Abuja. The council will be discussing current security and political issues in the region. Now, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and his U.S. counterpart, Sarah McIntosh, have signed a memorandum of understanding to deepen the fight against cyber threats and other security challenges. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
A convergence of high delegation of security architecture in Nigeria and from the United Kingdom at the office of the National Security Advisor 2 years after it was inaugurated. While reviewing past commitments, the National Security Advisors of the United Kingdom and Nigeria say the dialogue is a decisive move to address security challenges and serves as a platform for constructive discussions on an array of contemporary security challenges confronting both nations and the international community.
In an increasingly complex and interconnected world, the importance of robust multilateral cooperation and information sharing cannot be overstated. It is through forums such as this that we reaffirm our collective resolve to confront emerging threats, adapt to evolving security dynamics, and uphold the principle of democracy.
Both countries also signed a memorandum of understanding to intensify efforts in combating crimes through intelligence sharing, counter-terrorism, and maritime security.
We look forward to using this dialogue to hearing about and sharing the lessons from your national security work and to sharing some of the lessons that we have learnt from ours. Every year is different, always there are new things to be trying and some work, some don't, and we have to learn and adapt.
The first edition was held in 2022 in London, where several commitments were made on ways to strengthen collaborations in the area of defense cooperation, violent extremism, organized crime, and illicit financial flows, among others. The signing of the MOU is expected to further upscale the ongoing fight against counter-terrorism, cyber threat, and other trans-border crime. From the Office of the National Security Advisor in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Thank you, Ismail. And now the Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, says the police and its National Central Bureau at the force headquarters will always prioritize the safety of all Nigerians. Francis Form reports that the minister gave the assurance when she went to have first-hand information on the level of work at the National Criminal Data Fusion Center, a project of the federal government.
This is the building that houses the National Criminal Data Fusion Center, WAPIS, Interpol, and other investigation arms of the Nigeria Police Force. The building is currently receiving facelift, and the Minister of State for Police Affairs was taken around the building to see the level of job done so far. The minister assured that with the delivery of the National Data Fusion Center, persons that are of interest to Nigeria and outside world will have no place to hide.
It's a very strategic project for the Nigerian Police Force. So I've come to see the job done so far. I'm really, really impressed. And I know that once this is achieved, it will help us in safeguarding lives and properties.
In the next quarter, we'll be having the project ready and all the relevant agencies that are supposed to contribute data will be brought on board to work together for a seamless collation of criminal data and analysis and dissemination.
The visit was an opportunity for the minister to encourage officers and men at the National Central Bureau to keep the good work going. In another development, the Ministry of Police Affairs has pointed out that the Central Motor Registry was designed to ensure the protection of Nigerians by the Nigeria Police Force from criminals and challenges of stolen vehicles. This was at a stakeholders conference on improving internally generated revenue.
Police force is about security. Police force is about safety. And police force is not about making money. But you have within your midst so many activities that can generate revenue to keep you moving without
The permanent secretary noted that the conference will enable participants to explore ways of imbibing the culture of professionalism and accountability in the revenue generation activities. Francis from NTA News.
We will now be taking another commercial break. The news continues shortly.
To Maiduguri, good to have you join us. 300 unemployed youth, women, as well as selected fishermen on aquaculture and fish value chain drawn from the 27 local government areas of Borno have benefited from an empowerment program towards contributing to the gross domestic product GDP of Nigeria. The empowerment program is an initiative of the federal government in collaboration with Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology Baga. Abubakar Musa reports.
I will make a very good use of this.
We thank the Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Baga.
With the theme, Aquaculture Entrepreneurship for Sustainable Food Security, Livelihood and Wealth Creation, the Empowerment Program is in line with the declaration of state of emergency on food security by the Tinubu administration towards driving economic development of Nigeria as a catalyst for poverty reduction. Provost and Chief Executive Officer, Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology Baga, Professor Ba'o M. Modu, underscored the pivotal role aquaculture entrepreneurship can play in generating sustainable income among the beneficiaries and by extension Nigeria as a whole, and commended Governor Babagana Umara for providing a favorable environment for agricultural activities to continue to thrive.
The federal government is now touching the heart, going deep down to the grassroots.
Mohammed Yakubu Diawari of the Department of Fisheries, University of Maiduguri, while presenting a topic, the importance of aquaculture for food security in Nigeria, described aquaculture generally as a beacon of hope and viable solution to the country's present food security challenge. Other key drivers highlighted the multifaceted components of aquaculture and its transformative impact on Nigeria's journey towards a robust and long-lasting food security. All the beneficiaries were given starter kits and cash support.
Volunteers as well as local security operatives and the society in general have been described as key drivers in ensuring the drastic reduction of the prevailing menace of drug abuse, which is said to be the leading cause of atrocities nowadays. This was the central message at a one-day enlightenment program for security and stakeholders in Borno, organized by the State Emergency Management Agency in collaboration with Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. Again, Abubakar Musa reports.
Findings have revealed that drug abuse is the leading cause of all forms of criminalities being perpetrated, hence the organization of this sensitization program with the theme, Role of Civilian, Hunter and Vigilante in Ensuring Community Safety. Representatives of the State Emergency Management Agency and Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency affirmed to use such programs to highlight the dangers associated with drug abuse, especially in a state like Borno that is recovering from the years of insurgency.
We, the participants and other community leaders, to extend this message to our various community.
In an elaborate presentation, Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Finance and Administration, Borno State Command, Mohammed Ahmed Bello, was emphatic that the best way to stem the tide of drug abuse and trafficking is through value reorientation, while Musa Konduga of the University of Maiduguri stressed that there must be sustained community engagement and robust synergies between security organizations and communities. Representative of the Show of Borno reiterated the traditional institution's readiness to key into any initiative that will curtail drug-related offenses, while those from the security sector spoke at length on the negative effects of drugs and gave recommendations on how to chart a way forward. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
That does it from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues with Okochukwu Kai in Abuja. Okochukwu is back to you.
Thank you, Ladidi, for your contribution. The automation of passport application and processing by the Nigerian Immigration Service is expected to expedite passport acquisition for Nigerians and eliminate corruption. Shola Wahid, who visited the Kwara State Office of the NIS in Ilori, reports that the initiative has increased enrollment for Nigeria passports.
The launch of the automated passport application portal a few weeks ago attracted a big sigh of relief among Nigerians, especially those who have had to navigate through harrowing experience to obtain their passports in the past. With the opening of an online portal, applicants only need to visit the immigration office for capturing.
It is tedious that time to me, but now I believe it's something that is a welcome development. This is a great opportunity and easy form.
The NIS and the Minister of Interior, we say we should give them the credit for introducing this.
Since it's now automated, I have the interest to also register.
If the federal government actually monitored it very well, and it will become a successful innovation.
The era of too much paperwork, third-party interference, and extra cost, according to the Comptroller of Immigration, Kwara Command, is gone.
At the comfort of your home, with your computer or handset, you can make your application. Just go to our website, pull passport, and then fill and after that, it will give you appointment where you just come and do your biometrics and go.
The automation is already attracting more applicants as Kwara office now processes an average of 400 applications daily. The opening of another passport office in Ofa is expected to increase the number of passport procedures and collection in Kwara State. Shola Wahid, NTA News.
And in sports, we earlier reported that Vice President Kashim Shettima has left Abuja for Cote d'Ivoire, and now Austin Edemodu in our sports desk tells us that Super Eagles coach and his Bafana counterparts draw battle line as Nigerians share their sentiments in a crucial semi-final clash against South Africa. Austin Edemodu equally takes us through the much-expected Africa Cup of Nations semi-final matches in Cote d'Ivoire this evening.
NTA News.
And that's Nationwide today. On behalf of the director and the entire production crew, thank you for watching, and we wish Nigeria victory this evening.